What's up, guys? We are going into Dark Levian uh, and Aquan, Week 2, Fire and Lightning. And just to call it out, I think this is the first time where their description of the boss's actions is actually spot on. Um, as long as you maintain 100% light and dark resist and push the 50% threshold, like this boss is a joke as far as what it does to you. Yeah, I think it's either turn 3 or turn 4. It starts doing MP drains and HP drains. Um, but as long as you push 50%, you never even see that. So, um, yeah, it's probably the best description of what a boss does that I've seen. As far as I can tell, it doesn't imperil you, just does light and dark magic damage and an AoE, and I think some single target light magic and um, some single target maybe dark or non-elemental physical. But anyway, this is the team we're going with. Chose Squall just because he was easiest to gear for killers versus other DPS like Titus, trying to get him with a lot of Aquan Killer and True Double Hand and all that was a pain. So we're just going with him. He is on Ifrit with Protect learned. We're going to be reflecting Protect off of Die onto the boss just to kind of mitigate the damage dealt. So, but here's his gear. He's got Return, Reagan's TMR for an LB mod boost, some killer materia, Laguna's TMR, Laguna's card for some flat stats, his own chronicle weapon. I think he's a better choice than NVA Titus, just because Titus's best in slot gear has his sword on him and it's water element. So Lionheart Plus is non-elemental, at least. Plus we're getting a bigger Greatsword Imperil than a Sword Imperil. So, but he kind of got leftover gear, so he's a 225 Aquan and full LB. So there's that. Hero Die, he has a lightning weapon in the base form. And not sure he even needs an elemental weapon. We're getting a fire imbue from Roberta just to try to push the boss's health down below 50%. So it's really whatever. But he does have Mirror of Shahal from a recent event to cast a Reflect on himself. If you have Reflectoring, by all means use that. And Eye of the Dragon in the base form. If you have Esther's event materia that gives Ian chains, you can use that too. So there's his gear. He has his own card. Shift form, chain cap clothes, his own STMR. The Vision World event materia that gives him some flat stats. And he is at 275 Aquan and full LB. Which, what does this give? Oh, I think this gives him some True Double Hand. So, yeah, we need that on him. Roberta, base form, just pretty much naked. I put her own TMR on just for a little bit of her Trustmaster skill, LB fill, but she's got Ricard's card and Ricard's helm for her jump mod boosts. If you have another DPS that can imbue Aquan Killer onto everyone, not sure if Chizuru can, but they would probably be a better option than her. Since she's jumping, she's missing out on the 100% lightning amp from Sylvie, and she's not taking advantage of Esther's LB field. So again, not sure if Chizuru or the new Balthier give Aquan Killer, but they'd probably be better options. Same goes for Squall or Die. I mean, if you have some of the newer DPS, I'd go with them. But I didn't pull on Chizuru. I'm not pulling on Balthier, so we're going with what we have. Anyway, dual STMR, some Aquan Killer, some Esper stats up. And she's at 850 jump and full Aquan. So there's that. Wilk, base form, just his own TMR. Not put his own STMR on him just for a little bit of chip damage while we're trying to work the boss down below 50%. Yeah, that's it. He's got Esther's vision card. Then shift form, went with the axe. Hoping for a high variance roll, pretty much is the only reason. If you're gonna one and done this, I'd say just go with the fist so your damage is more consistent. Because as far as I know, he's gonna hit for the 120 variance or whatever the low end is, 115 to 195. I mean, I'm not big on rolling variance. I might run this a few times just to see where I land, but anyway, it's your call. And then, some Esper stats up, some Aquan Killer. He is at full Aquan and full LB. Esther, she's got Wilk's vision card and, best in slot gear for her. Well, not going all in on, all the Magister stuff, but anyway. So yeah, some Aquan Killer, pretty straightforward gearing, just full LB, full Aquan. Oh, and to call it out, I did use one of my banner tickets on the Black Submarine for Wilk. But anyway. And then shift form, she was going to be Omni covering later in the fight. Just dual wield with Yeti combat style. Aurora Scarf would work too. You need her TMR on though. We just want to have dual wield, normal attacks hit twice to fill her LB. And then I put some light and dark resist on her. I think it was one of my runs before I worked the boss down below 50% that he dispelled, maybe. So the resist is more for safety. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen any more dispels, though, once I started pushing the HP threshold. So, but there's that, anyway. And then Sylvie, just some MP reduction, full provoke, LB fill, and shift form, true double hand build. Yeah, actually tried to gear her for damage. We're going to be getting Ian chains from Esther on her for her to chain on the kill turn. So she's got some chain cap up materia. She has 0 killers though for Aquan. So anyway, we'll get into it. Okay, so turn 1, we are going to LB with Sylvie for the resistances. Roberta is in the base form, going to Inferno Breath for an imbue, just to help get the boss down below 50%. Draconic Triune for LB fill, and then just punch. Esther is going to triple cast her Stardust Ray skill in the base form. Squall is going to actually, don't even need to do that. We'll just Agile Edge 3 times to chain with Esther. Die is going to Claw of the Dragon to chain with Wilk's shifted LB. And Wilk is shifting and going to do his LB. So we'll chain them up. This will get the 100 point chain count out of the way too, since we're not doing that on the kill turn. So, single target magic. I'm guessing that can be nethicided too. Okay, this turn, Wilk is going to the base form. He's going to triple cast Bolting Strike. They're the Frenzied Claws to fill his LB gauge. Squall is going to chain Bolting Strike with Wilk. Die is just going to Claw of the Dragon again, and Esther is going to LB. So we'll chain them up. Okay. This turn we'll just actually, Roberta really doesn't have anything to do this turn, so she's just going to guard. Sylvie is going to put up Compassionate Knight for some ailment resistances, then Resolve, and then Knight again, I guess. Okay. And I may not have pointed it out, but you do need to make sure everyone is 0% or better resist to light and dark before the buff from Sylvie. So anyway, Wilk is going to shift and LB again, just to finish stacking that up. Okay. Esther, this turn, since we're already below 50%, she is just gonna, I guess, punch. Die is going to cast Reflect on himself. Squall is going to cast Protect on Die. So that should help with keeping from doing too much damage to the boss, and this will wear off on the kill turn before the kill turn. So there's that. What turn are we on? 3. Roberta can just guard again, and we can just reload Sylvie. Now, on that last turn, if you hadn't pushed the threshold with Wilk's LB, you could have just hit with Esther. She hits pretty hard. You have to be careful. I had been chaining Roberta in the shift form with Esther Bolting Strike, and it pushes the boss's health quite a bit if you're not careful. So that's an option for pushing the threshold. You just have to be careful not to do too much damage. But anyway, this turn, Esther is going to shift, and she is going to Quantum Storm over to Sylvie. That way, she's going to shift, and then Quantum Storm to Sylvie, just Storm Guardian, and then Omni Cover. Sylvie is going to LB just to refresh the resistances for the rest of the fight. Wilk's going back to the base form, and he's just going to Frenzied Claw 3 times just to fill his LB gauge up. Squall is going to guard. Die is going to guard. And Roberta is going to LB. This turn, Wilk is going to shift and do Rock Style Quake Blade to unlock his 90% break. Esther's just going to punch to fill her LB gauge. Roberta is going to Draconic Triune in the base form for some LB fill. Nito's Domain and Killers, Aquan Killer. Die and Squall are just going to guard this turn. And Sylvie is going to just whatever, really, honestly. Refresh our ailment resistance, I guess. Okay, we're gonna shift it LB with Esther just for the just to keep the Omni cover up through the end of the fight. Wilk is gonna Vengeance against the Draconaut. What are we on? Turn 6. Squall can just guard again. This turn, Die does need a shift. We're gonna LB him before we do Wilk. Roberta is going to, let's see, turn 6. She's going to shift. And she is going to put up Dragon's Aim, Emissary of Demise, and just refresh Killers. And Sylvie is going to shift. And we are going to defense for some LB fill, Clever Paladin Strike for a Sword in Peril. Yeah, that is, okay. Sword in Peril. And then Lightning 1. So again, taking no damage. I'm gonna go to the base one with Esther and I'm gonna True Storm Brand, Energize, or actually let's change the order there. We will Calm Before the Storm, and then True Storm Brand for the Imperil, and just whatever else, Energizing Bunny. Wilk is gonna go to the base one, and his LB is full, so we don't need to fill LB, so we can just Memories of the Ancestral Dragon. If his LB wasn't full, you could just fill it with Frenzied Claws, but we need Memories of the Ancestral Dragon to for a mod boost on his LB. Squall this turn is going to Gallant Spirit. Die is going to I know you can slice everything for LB mod boosts, and then his Magnus's. One fills his LB, the other is just whatever. And Sylvie is going to shift at LB. And Roberta is going to jump. Okay, now we kill. So Wilk is going to shift and LB. Esther is going to LB. Sylvie is going to Chain Lightning. Die is going to LB. And Squall is going to LB. SLB. So we are going to send Die. Wait a sec. Send the back row. Wait a sec. Send Squall, and then once the chain builds, we'll drop Roberta. So here we go. So 94-point chain is what we're looking for. I'm pretty sure I saw that. So 12.8. I think this team is rolled as high as like 13.3. So it's variance for you. Anyway, we'll lock it in. See who did what. So Woke rolled low. And Die was a little low. Roberta was abysmal. And yeah, so it is what it is. But anyway, it's a clear. So I might play around with it. Who knows? Maybe I'll get lucky on my pulls this week and get one of the newer DPS. But anyway, we will catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.